I'm excited to talk about what she's doing. So, Karen, welcome to the Hope for Healing Network.
Thank you so much, Cecily. I'm so excited to be here. I mean, this is my mission in life, is to alleviate suffering, especially when people have gone through something difficult or traumatic.
Yeah, and you know firsthand trauma, and that's kind of what you are doing to help people specifically. So, if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit of your story, whatever you want to share, and then we're going to kind of dive deep into what you're doing.
Yeah, sure. So I have a history of depression and addiction, anxiety. And I used to go to 12-step meetings, and I think they're fantastic. And one of the things that I did was rapid resolution therapy, which is what I do now with clients. And this one thing, I actually did a 4-hour session. This one thing changed everything for me. I got off of 2 antidepressants. I got off of Adderall. And the next time I went back to a 12-step meeting, I went to introduce myself with those words like, I'm a, you know what, the A word. And I couldn't do it. I'm like, I'm checking in. I'm like, that's a complete lie. Like, it's just not true for me anymore. And I never went back. And that was 8 years ago. And since that time, I mean, imagine I used to act happy sometimes, but on the inside, I was just miserable. And it was such a mask. And now I would say a good 92% of the time, I am happy for no reason. Like nothing external is causing my internal state. It's just coming from within. It's my natural state was restored. And that's what I do for people.
Wow, this is amazing because I mean I'm a psychology major, and then I also have done all sorts of different types of therapies because I had anxiety disorder, 15 years of anxiety disorder. So, you still have that little bits of trauma that are still there, and you can manage it better. But when I'm talking to you about this specific type of therapy, it kind of numbs it so it just is gone. Can we talk a little bit about that and your experience with that and helping other people with these therapy?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to clarify, it doesn't necessarily numb it, it neutralizes it. And there's a difference. We numb out by doing things like scrolling on our phone or drinking too much or eating too much or whatever our drug of choice is. This is getting the good news to the subconscious mind that you've already survived everything difficult and traumatic. And in this moment, there's nothing happening. So imagine this. Imagine there's a soldier and he's crawling through the mud and there's snakes and bugs. And he's doing it because he's afraid to stand up, because if he does, he might get shot. But what he doesn't know is he got separated from the rest of his platoon and the war is over and his side won. So we have some really good news for this guy. Yeah. It's the same with your mind. Your mind, the subconscious mind, the deeper part of mind, is about as smart as a 4-year-old or a goat. And it is always in the present moment. So when you remember something difficult, your mind thinks that thing is either happening, about to happen, or just happened, or most likely all three at once, which produces all that fight, flight, freeze, all those chemicals. So when the subconscious mind gets that all that stuff's over, there's no action required right now. It stops sending those signals. The only purpose of a disturbing emotion, thought, impulse, habit, sensation in the body is your subconscious mind wants you to take an action right now to not get hurt or not get dead last week, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, whenever. And when it gets like, hey, man, that stuff's not happening anymore, it stops sending those signals. And we take all the energy that it's been sending, trying to fix all that stuff. I harvest it and make it available here, right here. So you have access to greater healing in the body, strategic thinking, creativity, logic, reason, compassion for yourself and others. If you think there's a lion chasing you, you're not going to stop and help a homeless person. You're not going to see the homeless person. Your mind filters them out so that you can survive. So all that becomes available. And there's this, you can exhale finally.
Wow, that is so amazing. Just because, coming from a standpoint of 15 years of trauma, right? And being in fight or flight for more than 15 years, I always have these little triggers, and it's just, it's hard to, I can manage them. I know that we were talking about that, but being able to, I guess the word neutralize, I love that word, neutralizing it. So, and I found techniques that, that I can do personally to try to help neutralize, or to bring that down and manage things. But it's still there. And I think a lot of people that have come from fight or flight, always thinking that there's tigers in the bushes, right? And it stays with you. At least it's, it still stays with me. I still have those moments. So how does that, how does this type of therapy help people that have these little triggers that have come through, a lot? Does it just, how does that help them?
It's essentially, that's such a good, I love that you say that, because so many people think if there's something wrong with them, or it's like a character defect, that they've done all this stuff and it still bothers them. And it's like this, Cecily. If you came to my house and I said, oh my gosh, my kitchen sink is broken, my garbage disposal is broken, call the plumber. And you're like, what's going on? I'm like, well, listen, I turn on the garbage disposal. It's making a bunch of noise. And you turn it off and you're all calm and you put your hand there. You're like, Karen, silly, it's just an avocado pit. You turn it on. The garbage disposal's fine. The sink is fine. It's the same with your brain. You're hardwired fine. The software is fine. It's just stuck data. It's an avocado pit. So by getting the news in a way the subconscious mind understands, it takes those avocado pits and breaks them up and puts them into long-term storage in the basement. It takes them out of high definition. So if things were difficult, they come in like big, really big. And it's designed that way to help you survive. So if there's a rabbit and she's eating carrots, she's like happy as a clam. Her senses bring in, oh my gosh, there's a fox. It disappears carrots. Like she can't see them anymore. It makes fox really big. All the data about fox is big so that her legs get strong. When she's scared, her legs get strong so she can run fast. Her visual field opens so she can see the best path to escape. She becomes very motivated to run fast. So she runs. The moment she gets into her hole, her parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. So that's the rest and digest. When useful in animals, their sympathetic nervous system turns on. Fear, there's a predator, let's run, right? They run. When the predator's gone, their mind is like, okay, cool. Rabbits don't reminisce. She doesn't sit around thinking, oh, I must have been a really bad bunny for that fox to chase me. What did I do to cause that? How am I responsible? That's what spiritual people do. Like they try to figure out like how they caused it. And that's not useful. What I do is I resolve all the things, all those slams in the mind, all those big snapshots that came in high definition. I put them in a file cabinet in the basement, and there's a bunch of clear space. So there's nothing to react to because this stuff's not running. And you have this stuff that's running in the background. If you think about anything that happened that's not happening right now, something that happened in the past, and you feel any type of disturbing emotion, you have any thoughts like, gosh, that shouldn't have happened, or I wish I had done that better. You have any icky feelings in your body, any impulses to do something, or any habits that aren't serving you, this stuff is running. Whether you're aware of it or not, it's sucking energy from this moment.
And you're describing it so well, because that's exactly, like, I love that analogy about the bunny, because it does, you feel like, oh my gosh, like your thoughts, that's all you focus on is that specific fear or specific trauma, and you can't see anything outside of it. It's just like you're wrapped up in your own little world of fear, and being able to break free yourself is so difficult. Even like I said, people that have had years of therapy, it's still a struggle sometimes. I mean, I could do it, but it's still a struggle. So I'm excited to learn more about this. And I mean, I don't know if there's something specific that people that you work with, or because you're like one of 26, right, therapists that offer this type of therapy in the world, or?
Yeah, there are only 26 specialists in the world right now in this modality. There are other people in training, And I've done hundreds of sessions before becoming a specialist. In fact, I'm like not quite a specialist yet. I just submitted my paperwork. So I'm on the way. But it doesn't matter. I mean, I practice. And like you were saying, this is so interesting. I've done all the things. I do this for hundreds of other people. I cannot do it for myself. I can't. I can't. I know how to speak to the subconscious mind, but I can outsmart mine. No, I can't. I cannot outsmart mine. So I can't do this for myself, even though I know logically what to do. So it's really, I love that you pointed that out.
Well, I mean, it's just true. It's you can't, that's why we need people, right? We need experts. We need people that are in their field that are that have either gone through it themselves and then have the education experience, because sometimes those are the best types of therapists or coaches or practitioners, or those that have experienced it themselves, right? Because they're more apt to be empathetic and understand what a person's going through. So I really appreciate that you've had that experience. You're so loving and understanding and knowledgeable, and I'm really excited to see where you go. I mean, if how can people get in touch with you if they really want, if they want to try this and it resonates with them?
Yeah, absolutely. So my website is karenseltz.com, same as my name. And it's interesting. I was talking to Cecily. I was talking to you before we went live, and people only see me for this, usually for 3 sessions, and they are done. Their mind's like, I got it. I don't need any more. And for me, like, why not end suffering as quickly as possible? So in a first session with me, I will clear as many as 30 past events. And it doesn't take any more effort to clear 30 than it does to clear 1. The subconscious mind, when you speak to it in the right way, will put all of them together in one file and just put them all in the same file cabinet without talking about them, without reliving them. I know it doesn't sound possible. That's a big thing. It's like, if you go to my website, you'll see a bunch of testimonials, but I wouldn't believe it either. Like, I'm a smart person. I wouldn't believe this if I saw it. But I live it every day. And every single session, I'm humbled at the transformation that happens. And one of the big differences between what I do and what any other therapist does is that I take responsibility for your results. I am responsible for your results. I'm responsible for causing a shift for you. If I don't do it, I'm not going to say, well, you didn't try hard enough. You didn't want it enough. It has nothing to do with that. The only thing that it has to do with was my skill level. If I didn't cause it, I didn't have the skills, period. It's not on you. And I'm committed out of my mind to clear everything. And that's what people say, like, man, I've never seen anybody like you. I'm like, my butt's on the line. Like I said, I would clear it. I'm going to clear it. If it takes 5 extra minutes or 10 or 30, I'm clearing it, all of it. So that's a little bit about me. I'm kind of
Amazing.
fun like that.
I think that's amazing.
I'm in all the places on social too. If you Google me, you'll find me.
Well, and I would love to have you come back, Karen, and talk a little bit more in depth about this, and client testimonials, whatever, I could talk about my trauma, whatever we would need to do to get people to understand and feel comfortable, right? Because this is really important. I mean, the whole focus of this group is to give information to help people that have had trauma, and to give them that hope. And I really appreciate what you're doing to help people, because that is so much in line with this hope message of hope.
Oh, I love it. Well, if you're up for it, we could actually do a session. Like, if you're up for airing it, it's up to you. Or I could just do a couple clearing techniques that will help people in general without going too deep into things. Whatever is useful, I'm here for it.
That sounds beautiful. I love it. Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much for being here. It's been such a pleasure.